Test, 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 test. Good evening, everybody. How we doing? It's been a while. Wow, been a hot minute. Let's get started. First, I just want to thank you all for being part of this wonderful, wonderful community we have here. Look, I'm proud to be back, providing content, but I also need you guys to know we're in trouble. So YouTube says it might delete channels that are no longer commercially viable starting next month, early December. In other words, if you don't make them money, they'll kill your channel. So that means other small channels like this one and small channels exactly like mine that have not gained 1,000 subscribers can't monetize and are first on the chopping block. Look, if you want to keep this channel going, you got to spread the word to friends. Get them to sub, get them to watch. We're in a battle to get information out there. Even though I'm doing this as a comedy show, we do discuss serious issues the mainstream just does not discuss. We cover aspects of stories that you're not going to hear in the mainstream, which is why you're here. This isn't about getting rich. This is about keeping the channel afloat. This is about spreading freedom and getting a laugh while we're at it. Without your help, I'm done here on YouTube because we'll be gone. I'll be kicked off. So, with that in mind, let's move on. And for some reason, I look really red today. I don't know why that is. It's always fun dealing with aspects of YouTube. So, with all that said and done, I started this with a contest. This was prefaced in the previous video I did. So D, you won the contest. You get the mug, buddy. Congrats. More contests will come. Maybe there'll be more ability to get more mugs. So let us move into. So why don't we do the first story of the day? First story of the day. This is going to be fun. All right. I love this. Okay, so let's go to the news. Oh, hold on. That's the one I got. It's been a while since I've done this, guys, so you got to work with me a bit here. Study. People always running late are happier and healthier. So, I was running late to get, This Week in Stupid back to you guys. So, I guess I'm very happy and very healthy. And to everyone else you're just tuning in now, just getting into the channel to watch this video, cheers to your good health and happiness. We're gonna have a lot of fun today, guys. A lot of fun. I have really, really missed being here with y'all. My volume's a little low, so well, why don't we get this bad boy closer, huh? How about that? How about that? Is that a little bit, little louder, a little better? So let me pull this over here. Okay. So we'll go back now to some of these stories here, huh? All right. Male sex robots to replace men as women leave loveless relationships to fulfill desires. Ladies have decided that they no longer need to have their excessive cat collections when battery-operated devices are available. Welcome to the 21st century. But what will they do when they find out that even their male robot sex bots don't love them? You are going to see humane shelters get emptied out real fast and in a hurry. Oh boy. Let me see if that fixes some things right there. All right. Study shows studies are full of crap. Well, Kingpin, yes. Rich White says, if that were true, I'd be in perfect health. My show is always late. I hear you, brother. I actually started 5 minutes early. 5 p.m. is going to be the new time on Sundays, people. I probably should have prefaced that. Anyways, all right. So, this next story. Are you ready? Are you ready? Prepare for the cringe. I mean, when I read this, I was blown away. Here's your headline, people. Casey Anthony wants to have children again. Says her biological clock is ticking. Casey Anthony is reportedly thinking about having kids again years after being acquitted of killing her 2-year-old daughter in 2011. According to People magazine, a source close to Anthony told the magazine that she feels like her biological clock is ticking. She's not the young girl who everyone saw on trial. She's in her 30s, wondering what to do next and hoping she can find some meaning in her life. Oh, so maybe I should have just started this story with Florida woman. God, I wonder if anyone told her that she could have gotten away with killing as many offspring as she wanted, as long as she did it in the womb. That's perfectly legal. I also wonder, more importantly, is there a dude who's out there who's crazy enough to sleep with this chick? I mean, for real. Guys, I feel like I missed a lot of ridiculous content over the summer and over the fall that I didn't get to provide to you guys to get a laugh out. But this one, oh man, I am so glad that we're here together getting to laugh about this. Now, this next headline. Oh my gosh. So, here's your headline. California's RoboCop dealt with its first crime. It went as well as you'd expect. And yes, I have a picture of Dalek for a reason. You're about to see why. Look at this thing. Does that not look like Dalek? Does that not look... I mean, seriously, that's the design choice they went with? So, I mean, you tell me. So, here's what happened. This robot was out on patrol on June 18th in Huntington Park, California. This was the first day that RoboCop would be patrolling the streets and stopping crime. But from all accounts, he hasn't done much. And people said, oh, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, simply assume that it just hadn't had the opportunity to enforce justice. Well, RoboCop here finally had his time to shine when a fight broke out in a park in downtown LA. If the stars aligned, RoboCop could finally do what he was put on this planet to do: fight crime. A witness, Kogo Gurabera, ran over to this RoboCop for help. She pushed the emergency button that is conveniently located on this several times, but instead of police getting called, being patched through to the police, the RoboCop reportedly told the concerned citizen to get out of its way. This person said, "I was pushing the button, but it said step out of the way. It just kept ringing and ringing. I kept pushing and pushing." Another witness to the fight decided to call law enforcement the old-fashioned way by picking up a phone call and dialing 911, a novel concept. Good old 911. The police arrived, and the RoboCop just continued going down his predetermined route and told people to keep the park clean. Even better, this robot is not connected to the local police. It actually calls its creators, who then would have to call the police. And here's another wonderful picture of the RoboCop robot having fallen into a body of water. Oh. So, it's great to know that technology is working exactly as you would expect. And Rich White says, Doctor Who sex bots hired as police. Yes, someone, you figured out, Rich, where I was going with this. I didn't fully put it together. It's Terminatrix. Oh, you guys. Hey, Frank finally made it. Frank, so you missed the story where we find out that people who are running late are always happier and healthier. Cheers, buddy. Oh, boy. Okay. Moving on. This one, I don't even know, man. Let's give it to you. A white restaurant manager was sentenced to 10 years for enslaving and beating a black man. Not a Florida man. A white South Carolina restaurant manager has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for enslaving a black worker with an intellectual disability for 5 years, forcing him to work more than 100 hours a week without pay and frequently beating him with a belt. At one point, he dipped metal tongs into hot grease and burned the victim's neck for failing to deliver fried chicken to the buffet quickly. He'd yell racial slurs at the victim and belittle and demean him, the Justice Department said in the sentencing. This is the asshole right here. And apparently we can also now know that there are people in South Carolina that never got the word that they lost the war, and slavery's been abolished for about 154 years now, guys. 154 years. Oh, boy. Season 2 is going to be a long ride, guys. Now, speaking of restaurants, I think you will all appreciate some good news. I have that. I have good news. Good news. U.S. restaurants remove dining rooms to speed off site food frenzy. Headline, it doesn't matter. The devil is in the details. But scroll on down. The newest... No, I don't care. Atlanta-based Chick-fil-A has similar sites in Nashville and Louisville where customers order and prepay online with the option for delivery or pickup. So basically they're getting rid of having their dining areas and just focusing on delivery and pickup. delivery. And do you see how this works? Just automatically have it ordered. Just pick it up real quick, basically like a pizza place. I like the delivery option because now that, my friends, means we are going to be getting God's chicken delivered to our homes. I want you to think about that. Because I don't know about you guys, but I love me some Chick-fil-A. Now, I don't really have them out here in the middle of nowhere. Closest one is about an hour and a half away. But you know what? Civilization is advancing. Pretty jealous. All right. Shipwrecked Colombians clung to cocaine bales. Cocaine apparently saves lives, is the alternate headline. 3 suspected drug smugglers survived in shark-infested Pacific waters by clinging for hours to floating pails of cocaine, Colombia's Navy said Tuesday. The 3 Colombians are suspected of smuggling 1.2 tons of cocaine from Tumaco in Colombia when their boat was hit by a wave Saturday and capsized. By the time the men were picked up around 30 nautical miles from Tumaco by a Colombian Coast Guard vessel, they had been in the water for about 7 hours. Oh, boy. So, I tried to get the cocaine, it's a hell of a drug clip from Dave Chappelle all those years ago, but, well, couldn't get it to work in OBS today. Good times. I also thought about making a great mess in here by covering my face in flour, but you know what? Slapstick gags, they're hard to pull off right. And then I'd have to go the whole rest of the show with just flour all on my beard. Wow, this first show is actually probably going to go quick, guys, to be honest, because I just haven't done this in so long. I'm a little going quick. Maybe don't have as many stories as I don't know. We'll see. This is fun, though. Hope you guys are enjoying it. All right. Now, this next story, this is just a motivational story I think everyone will appreciate. These transgender bodybuilders can kick your ass. Yes, take a look. I mean, I don't, what is this? But apparently these guys, girls things, they're just proof positive that with a little hard work and a lot of anabolic steroids, you too can get yoked. I mean, seriously, like look, let's be honest. Most men, biological men, can't do this without steroids. So they just, they're injecting steroids. That's all there is to it. Good for them. You got buff, but is that the scam? You wanted to legally be able to use roids, so you say you're transgender? I don't know. Let's move on to some U.S. politics, huh? Let's do it. All right, U.S. politics. Let's start. We're going to start with Elizabeth Warren real quick because I was going to focus on the impeachment process, but this story. Elizabeth Warren's tax plan would bring rates over 100% for some. Presidential hopeful proposes wealth tax and levy on unrealized gains, a combination that could alter investing. Because this is just going to make Wall Street and millionaires and billionaires just really want to keep investing in the United States, right? Guys, like, is she high? This is insane. Look, I mean, stop with this. Oh, we gotta fight the rich. I mean, if it wasn't for the rich, we wouldn't have jobs, all right? And you're just going to get them to leave the country. Okay. Now let's dive into some Trump news. So, we're going to start with this story. Trump pardons armed service members accused of war crimes. He pardons, full pardons to 2 Army officials and restored the rank of a Navy SEAL, each of whom had been accused or convicted of war crimes, the White House announced on Friday. Why does this matter? The intervention came despite opposition raised by military justice experts and Pentagon officials. The move signaled that, as Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Trump intends to use his power as the ultimate arbiter of military justice. I'm just going to point this out there. He is the ultimate arbiter of military justice. He's the president. Now, Army First Lieutenant Clint Lawrence has served already more than 6 years of his 19-year sentence for the murder of 2 civilians. Special Forces Officer Major Matthew Golston will have a murder charge dropped for killing an Afghan citizen he thought was a Taliban bomb maker. Chief Petty Officer Edward Gallagher, a Navy SEAL, was found guilty of bringing discredit on the armed forces by posing in a photo with the corpse of a captive he was accused of killing. He will have his rank restored after being demoted to Petty Officer First Class. So, here's where I'm going to say this is important. Because now we will get into discussing a little bit about Roger Stone. Because this story comes in the same week. All right, listen. Roger Stone was just found guilty on all 7 charges levied against him. He has still not been sentenced. They will figure that out later. But here's the story. He was found guilty for the WikiLeaks connection on all 7 counts. He was charged with making false statements, basically because he couldn't remember if he sent an email or talked on the phone or something. It was pretty silly. But here's the reality of the situation. I think Trump needs to pardon Stone, and here's why. Trump is in the middle of an impeachment fiasco, the little kangaroo court that happened all last week. And he needs to show his supporters that he's got their back. Roger Stone has been one of the biggest supporters of Trump from the beginning. So why would anyone defend Trump if he won't use his powers of being able to pardon people by defending them? If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't pardon Stone, it shows that he doesn't care what happens to his supporters. That's not going to do well with your base. Now we have to dive even more into the impeachment. And let's start with the beginning. We're going to start by talking about, yes, the one who shall not be named, not Voldemort. No. I'm going to show you his face. Oh boy, I'm going to give you his name. It's going to be scary. YouTube might shut me down. But let's take a look at this guy. I pulled up multiple. Take a look. Here he is. Oh, there, right there. Eric Ciaramella, a CIA agent, registered Democrat. He was handpicked by John Brennan to work in the White House. John Brennan being a former communist who somehow got to be the head of... Oh my God. Who put him in charge of the CIA? So, oh Obama. So he was handpicked by John Brennan. It gets better. So here's a story from the Washington Examiner. Take a look at this. Alleged whistleblower Eric Sharamella was Biden guest at State Department banquet. So he's got ties to Biden as well. So the guy's direct ties to Biden and John Brennan, who's basically been orchestrating a coup for the last several years. Real clear politics from OAN. John Brennan handpicked the whistleblower for White House. I didn't make these headlines up. Oh, but the drama continues. First, day one, they had about 13 million people viewing the kangaroo court impeachment inquiry. And the first two witnesses, all they had was hearsay. They literally had never met with Trump, never talked with Trump. They just disagreed with his policies. They were not witnesses. No credibility. And then the next day, we have this, what's her face? Marie Yovanovitch, who basically felt intimidated because Donald Trump said when she was in the court that she was bad at her job. Yeah. All right. So very intimidated. Trump launches Twitter attack on witness during impeachment testimony. Let me show you the tweet. Everywhere Mary Yovanovitch went turned bad. She started off in Somalia. How did that go? Then fast forward to Ukraine, where the new Ukrainian president spoke unfavorably about her in my second phone call with him. It is a U.S. president's absolute right to appoint ambassadors. Yeah. He ain't wrong. That's what she found very intimidating. Being told you suck at your job. So let's get the exact quotes. So basically what happened is Trump puts up this tweet, and then Adam Schiff in real time asked her what she thought of that tweet, what her reaction was. She said, I can't speak to what the president is trying to do, but I think the effect is to be intimidating. Schiff replied with a giddy little pencil neck look. Well, I want you to know, Ambassador, that some of us here take witness intimidation very seriously. How is saying someone sucks at their job intimidation? If you think that is intimidation, I think you need to grow a pair. It gets better. I mean, this kangaroo court has turned into nothing more than a drama. I mean, reality show TV. I guess it makes sense. We do have a reality TV show host as our president. But take a look at this. Brennan sends President Trump ominous warning in the middle of Schiff's impeachment trial. May your downfall be swift. So if saying someone sucks at their job is impeachment, or is an impeachable offense, yes, they were trying to say that is an impeachable offense, what Trump did with that tweet. What about this guy? I mean, couldn't we say that's a threat against the president right there? I mean, if we really want to grasp for straws like these guys are. Look, this guy right here, he's a problem. Since day one, he has been attempting a coup against President Trump. Now, look, we know we sit here, you guys know my opinion on Trump. I give him praise when he does good. When he does stuff I disagree with, I call him out on it. It is what it is. But this year, I mean, we have a duly elected president that these deep state clowns are trying to take out. Who are they? Who are they? Look, guys, that clown show is going to continue. And I'm sure we'll talk more about it next week. But let's talk about some world politics. Then we'll talk some guns for a second. This is going to be fun. It looks like we'll get out probably be about 40 minutes for the show or so, which is not too bad for my first, getting back into the waters, trying it out, going for a swim. This world news. Okay, I'm sorry. The lag. This is just too funny. China propaganda films enter New Zealand while anti-Hong Kong videos pop up on Pornhub of all places. So here's what's happening. Basically, China is getting censored by social media for basically being dicks when it comes to Hong Kong. So, because pretty much everyone agrees that China sucks and the way they treat Hong Kong sucks, okay? Now, and I know, you guys probably thought I was going to start with talking about Syria, how we went, Trump went from pulling out to playing just the tip. But this is the real the real story. All right. China censors Pornhub in their own country, but they are putting the Chinese government is putting out propaganda films on to Pornhub because it is one of the few mediums that will not take down their content. So they had to use a place that guaranteed free speech, despite the fact that they massively censor free speech and are trying to, take over Hong Kong more so to quell their violent protests, which they absolutely have the right to do. So, next time you are on Pornhub looking for your favorite Asian fetish films, there's a good chance that you might get a pro-Chinese, anti-Hong Kong video. Yeah. Here's another headline from there. Pornhub enjoys massive traffic from internet users in China denouncing Hong Kong protesters. It wasn't fake news, guys. I promised you. I gave you 2 different websites. Oh, my Lord. I got one more news story for you here on the world stage. I think you guys will find this interesting. Iran discovers new field with over 50 billion barrels of oil. Alternate headline. John Bolton's mustache has found another 50 billion reasons to invade Iran. Thank God that guy is no longer in the Trump administration. Because we all know we need more wars. Because isn't it so funny how the left was so anti-war when Bush was president? Then they shut up when Obama became president. Obama had 7 wars. And now they're mad when Trump doesn't keep their military-industrial complex wars going. All right, let's move on. Stealth Hunter. Deuces, man. Glad you were here. Rich White said, InRange TV still has their Pornhub channel. That's awesome. And also says that people have had videos removed on YouTube for talking about this guy. It's been a nice show. You know what? We fly under the radar. That is one benefit of being small, except for the fact that we don't get to fly under the radar much longer because YouTube is going to kill us. Oh, my Lord. All right. So, that, my friends, is our coverage of world news. I know. I could have covered more stuff. We could have made this a lot longer show, but I do have a couple more stories for you to discuss regarding the Pew Pew life. All right. So, all right, let's get this on. Bill Clinton to Donald Trump on gun control and action during impeachment. You got hired to do a job. Well, he was hired by people who don't want gun control, but he has then, in turn, given us gun control we didn't want, such as the bump stock ban and fixed NICS. Things we didn't want. Bill Clinton obviously signed the assault weapons ban of 1994 that went until 2004 when it expired, and it did nothing. It did nothing to curb violence whatsoever. But you know what? Since we're talking about Bill Clinton, I just want to remind you of this picture. I'm just saying, that is gross. If you are not familiar with this painting was found in Jeffrey Epstein's home, who did not kill himself, by the way, if you haven't figured that out yet. Look at this. The blue dress is supposed to be Monica Lewinsky's dress. Red shoes is normally a symbol of pedophilia or Satanism. And in general, it's just freaking weird. Found in Jeffrey Epstein's home, of which the two were friends. Bill Clinton went to his house over 20 some times. But hey, that guy who has gotten away with quite a bit wants to lecture us, wants to lecture Trump. Now, one more story for you. This one is big, guys. This is actually probably one of the biggest news stories that happened this week that you may or may not have heard of. Let's take a look. Supreme Court allows Sandy Hook relatives to sue gun maker. Families of the victims of the 2012 shooting at an elementary school are challenging a federal law protecting gun manufacturers from liability. The Supreme Court cleared the way on Tuesday for relatives of Sandy Hook to sue Remington Arms Company, the maker of the rifle used in that massacre. Now, the court said it would not hear an appeal by Remington of a ruling by Connecticut Supreme Court that allowed a lawsuit brought by families of the victims to go forward. The case has been seen as a test of the ability of plaintiffs to pierce the legal immunity of firearm manufacturers in the aftermath of shootings. Look, there is no question that what happened at Sandy Hook was a horrible atrocity. No one denies that. But this would set a horrendous precedent, and this is how the Second Amendment could be killed. Think about this. This will lead to the weaponization of the court system against firearm manufacturers. How many companies will be able to withstand the onslaught of lawsuits that will be filed by people trying to squeeze money out of them because somebody died when a firearm was used against someone to cause harm, or even self-defense? Imagine that someone breaks into your home. You unfortunately find yourself in the situation to where you have to employ a firearm, whether it's a Remington AR-15 style weapon that was used in 2012, or even if it's a revolver, a handgun, a shotgun. No matter what the weapon is, imagine you take out that bad guy, but then the family sues you and sues the manufacturer of the firearms for you being able to defend yourself against those people that were coming to cause harm against you. This isn't far off. How many how many companies will be able to survive that? Question of the day. Will this be how the left destroys the Second Amendment? Sound off in the comment section below. In closing, guys, we're living in truly interesting times right now. The loony left is actively staging a coup against a duly elected president. We find ourselves in a conundrum. Trump is no friend of liberty, but he also isn't actively campaigning on stripping away our rights and subverting liberty. Every Democrat candidate right now is promising to take away guns, raise our taxes, destroy our healthcare system with Medicare for all. Their free college plan that all of them have probably is going to burst the student loan bubble. And generally, they want to fundamentally transform our republic into a socialist banana republic. Guys, now more than ever, I need you in the fight. Please donate to the channel by becoming a Patreon. Tell others about the channel. We must spread the message of liberty. I try to reach people through comedy. And I hope you spread my videos to your friends so they get a laugh and realize that they're not alone. We are not alone. As I told you at the beginning of the show, YouTube is going to start purging channels that they don't deem commercially viable. We must prove this channel is commercially viable by growing dramatically and fast now. So please hit that smash, hit that like, share this video. All right, my friends. I am so glad to be back. Looks like 5 of you made it all the way through. Really appreciate that, D. Get in contact with me, brother. Hit me up by email. I'll get you a mug sent out. Everyone else? Let's look at these comments one last time. Kingpin says, Trump is the best thing we have by far. No friend of liberty. Don't know about that. I'm still judging from his actions with the bump stock ban and fixed NICS. And in general, I think he's more of a pragmatic person than I would prefer. I would prefer more of an idealist to be in office. But at the same time, I think right now he serves his purpose as the best thing what we do have. He just has to be watched. It's just I don't trust people. Anyways, guys, I'm out. I will see you next week. The 5 p.m. is the new time. Deuces.